There's another tornado brewing over there in the name of Inoue.
He just won.
That is a bad dude.
You know, to fight the monster, Naoya Inoue, I think he is probably maybe the best pound fighter in the world. But, you know, Sam's proven that he's got such a great chin, such good boxing IQ, he's in with a chance. And at least he deserves the opportunity.
Naoya Inoue is set to prove why he's called the Monster, as he takes on Sam Goodman in an electrifying showdown this December. Meanwhile, boxing analyst Teddy Atlas emphasizes that fans remain eager to watch Naoya Inoue dominate, largely due to his reputation as a top boxer, famously known as the Monster. Whether he faces smaller or less formidable opponents, the allure of witnessing Inoue's sheer dominance never wanes.
Yeah, you keep him active. Obviously, he's the monster. You know, you want to keep him out there. People want to see the monster. You know, it doesn't matter if Godzilla every once in a while, you know, chomps on somebody a little smaller, you know, and goes and bites the head off of Malfa's little brother. That's okay. It's all right. It's still Godzilla. We want to see Godzilla. We want to see the monster. We want to see.
Atlas also commends Inoue for consistently fighting top-tier opponents, unlike other boxers who cherry-pick easy fights. He believes that Inoue has genuinely earned the right to take a break with a less challenging matchup.
He deserves it. And as both champions said, he's fought everybody. He's fought all the top guys, all the dangerous guys. I remember when he was fighting Fulton. People thought he was going to lose to Fulton. There was a lot of people that made a good case for Fulton. Oh, he's a good counterpuncher. He's a real good defensive fighter. You know, he's really going to be risky for Inoue. And at the end of the day, Inoue gets rid of him too. So I have no problem. I do have a problem a lot of times with some of these guys. That can cherry pick the way they cherry pick, because all they do is pick cherries. They never pick a strawberry. They never get anything else. They only get cherries, but not Inoue.
The boxing fraternity recalls Inoue's previous fight, where he was knocked down but demonstrated his greatness, drawing comparisons to legendary boxers like Floyd Mayweather during their prime. Critics suggest that for Naoya Inoue, staying active, even if he's not facing top-level opponents, is crucial to maintaining his sharpness and visibility while waiting for bigger fights. Regular bouts help him stay in peak condition and sustain public interest, which is vital as he continues to navigate the competitive boxing scene.
Kind of, but we can't just pull out opponents constantly out of the factory. Like,
exactly.
We need a big opponent. We need a big name opponent. There's only so many that exist. Right. You got to build them up a little bit. At the same time, Inoue wants to stay busy, so there isn't these big name opponents that are constantly in the influx, like a what do they call the machine? The
conveyor belt.
The conveyor belt.
Yes.
Boom. That's why I love this guy. That's why I love, because he thinks of stuff.
I try.
So the conveyor belt comes out, and then you gotta watch these big name opponents. You can't have that all the time. But Inoue wants to stay busy. Isn't that a good thing? We want to see him.
Former professional boxer Roy Jones Jr. is discussing Naoya Inoue, calling him a bad dude and praising him as pound for pound one of the best fighters. However, Inoue lacks top-tier competition in his weight class to truly prove his dominance. Roy points out that Inoue isn't as well known in the US due to the lack of big-name fighters in his division, but recognizes him as the face of international boxing.
There's another tornado brewing over there in the name of Inoue.
He just won.
That is a bad dude. You hear me? Say what you want. I know he way over there in Japan or wherever he is, but that is a bad dude.
Recent reports reveal that Naoya Inoue and Sam Goodman are set to face off for Inoue's undisputed super bantamweight title. Speculation about this potential matchup has circulated for some time, and boxing promoter Bob Arum recently confirmed the news. Arum shared that negotiations for Inoue's next title defense are progressing smoothly, with a deal expected to be finalized soon. The bout between Naoya Inoue and Sam Goodman is being arranged for December 24, 2024, with Inoue defending his undisputed super bantamweight world titles in Tokyo, Japan. Arum also disclosed plans for a major fight for Inoue in April 2025 in Las Vegas, should Inoue emerge victorious in the December clash. Discussing the fight's timeline, Arum stated, "The negotiations between the Inoue camp and the Goodman camp have been going swimmingly, and we are just about ready to conclude those negotiations. I'm very optimistic that the fight will be held on December 24th, Christmas Eve, in Tokyo." Arum further highlighted future plans to bring Inoue back to the United States for a major fight, assuming a victory over Goodman. He mentioned hopes for an April event in Las Vegas, with Top Rank President Todd Dubuff already in talks with Bill Hornbuckle, chairman of MGM, regarding the potential fight in 2025. Sammy Goodman recounts how he spontaneously moved closer to the ring during a fight in Japan, catching the attention of the Monster, his future opponent. The unplanned encounter was significant, marking mutual recognition between them ahead of their anticipated fight.
I'm different, and I'm going to show why I'm different when I get the chance to face him.
Well, you did say to me, you go, I'm going over to Japan, I'm going to Tokyo, the Inoue fight, I'm going to be in there. Next minute I'm watching, you pop up on, he's called you up. That was completely unplanned for anyone playing at home. Run me through it.
Look, we started in about row 9 and we ended up in row 1. So, yeah, it was off the cuff. We had, we were calling it the golden ticket. It was like Willy in the Wonka factory. But so we had these passes that kind of got us at it anywhere, and we just got closer and closer and closer to the ring. Eventually, I could yell out at him, and he caught us in the ring. So it's sort of how that came about. But yeah, it was nothing manufactured or planned before it. It was just hustle our way to the front and see what we could do.
Sam Goodman highlights Naoya Inoue's consistent activity and willingness to take on challenges. While he is hopeful about finalizing their fight, Goodman clarifies that nothing has been officially confirmed yet.
It's all allegedly at the moment.
So allegedly, what's the story allegedly?
Allegedly, it's mate, I've got nothing for you, so no, I can't break anything here. So it's all rumours at the moment, nothing absolutely done. And look, I'm hoping that we can get something worked out, and it is the Monster. So it's the biggest fight in boxing, it's the fight I want, and that's the one we're targeting.
Is there any reason why it wouldn't be Inoue?
Unless he doesn't want to fight, like that's the only way. And I don't see that from him. I think he's taken on every challenge there is in boxing. He's staying active as well. So look, I think we're gonna get a deal sorted and get a deal done. And look, it's all looking positive, but there's nothing official I can really say at the moment.
Jason Maloney discusses Sam Goodman's chances in his upcoming fight, expressing support for his fellow countrymen and hoping for a strong performance. However, he acknowledges the significant challenge Goodman will face against Naoya Inoue, who continues to dominate the 122-pound division.
Talks to Sam Goodman going in there next. What do you think of his chances?
Oh, look, you want to back your countryman and you hope he does well, but it's very hard to see anyone at 122 giving Inoue too much trouble. But yeah, mate, I'll back him and hope he does well in the fight.
Beauty. Thanks, boys.
Stephen Fulton advises Naoya Inoue to continue advancing through weight divisions as long as his body allows, but warns against pushing too far. He cautions that moving up in weight increases the risk of long-term health issues, particularly brain injuries, which can occur even with minimal trauma. Fulton emphasizes the importance of balancing ambition with caution to avoid risking Inoue's long-term health for the sake of advancing through divisions.
Excuse me, do you think Inoue should stay in his division or should he go up?
I mean, I'm not sure. Keep climbing that ladder until you can't climb it no more. I feel like that's how I would do it. Or unless you feel like you're reaching that peak within your body and your age range, that you just want to, stop before, too much brain damage or mental, whatever the case may be. Because no matter if you get hit a lot or not, that still takes a toll on your body and your brain. So.
Paulie Malignaggi calls for the recognition of fighters like Naoya Inoue, who willingly face tough opponents. He argues that Inoue deserves a top pound-for-pound ranking for his courage, unlike Hollywood-style fighters who avoid risks. Malignaggi suggests creating two categories in boxing, one for true competitors like Inoue, and another for those focused on protecting their records, ensuring that real fighters get the acknowledgement they deserve.
When we talk about Eastern fighters, at least we talk about them fighting each other, and they're gonna fight each other. A lot of times when we talk about these Western stars, the conversation is who they're not fighting, why the fights aren't getting made, we talk about the possibilities, and then we end up having to complain about, why is it not happening? Who's to blame? All this other stuff. You ever notice the Eastern guys, we always talk about the fight is gonna happen, and the fight does happen. The next time we do a ranking show on a pound-for-pound list, I'm gonna make my Hollywood pound-for-pound list, and I'm gonna make the real fighters pound-for-pound list. Because a lot of times, boxing fans get confused and intermix the two together. And then the fighters fighting everybody don't get enough credit, because the fighters fighting everybody are gonna knock each other off, take losses, and then not wind up on the pound-for-pound list. Either we get rid of pound-for-pound lists, or we have to have a category A and a B. Hollywood pound-for-pound and real pound-for-pound.
In addition, Paulie Malignaggi also emphasizes the commitment of Eastern fighters, highlighting their readiness to face tough opponents without hesitation. He remarks, I've never heard an Eastern fighter try to con artist his way out of a fight by saying, "How many tickets does this guy sell?" Malignaggi expresses confidence that the highly anticipated matchup involving Naoya Inoue will happen, stating, "The fight's gonna happen. We know the fight's going to happen." He acknowledges that the discussions about the fight may seem excessive, but he insists that the excitement is justified, urging fans to let it marinate and build as fighters continue to demonstrate their spirit. Former pro boxer Chris Algieri emphasizes Naoya Inoue's potential to become a global boxing star. He notes that Inoue is already a significant draw in Japan, stating, "He could fill up the Tokyo Dome, and if marketed correctly, these guys could fill arenas across multiple continents. I'm telling you, they could fill Dodger Stadium in LA, and if it is a trilogy, they could probably fill up at least the O2 Arena in England." Algieri believes that with the right promotion and marketing strategy, Inoue could emerge as a major pay-per-view star, underscoring the excitement surrounding his future matchups and the growing interest in his career. He suggests that Inoue's appeal transcends borders, making him a valuable asset in boxing's international market. Ahead of his fight with Naoya Inoue, Sam Goodman notes the irony in how critics view TJ Doheny. When Goodman beat Doheny, they dismissed the win by calling Doheny old. Yet, after Doheny faced Inoue, those same critics now praise him as a worthy opponent, highlighting the inconsistency in their judgments.
You beat TJ quite a while ago now.
Yeah, he's fought my leftovers, so it's yeah. When I beat him, you know, I put him down. I made him run all around the ring after I did put him down, and
Goodman is frustrated by how some people discredited his victory back then, only to now elevate Doheny's status as another top fighter like Inoue is set to face him. However, Goodman remains confident in his abilities and the path he and his team have chosen, focusing on his journey and future goals. As Goodman puts it, "I don't care about the opinions of other people. I know what I and my team are about, whatever plans are, and I'll see Naoya at the end of the year." Barry Michael believes that Sam Goodman has proven himself ready to face Naoya Inoue, who he considers one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He praises Goodman for his resilience, pointing out his strong chin and tactical boxing intelligence, which make him a formidable contender. Michael argues that Goodman's combination of toughness and strategy has earned him the right to step into the ring with a fighter of Inoue's caliber.
He did. I knew he was going to come to fight. I looked at his knockout reel, and look, I don't think he's fought the quality opponents that Sammy Goodman's fought. Sammy's beaten some quality world-class fighters, and he's proven that he's right up there with these guys. You know, to fight the monster, Naoya Inoue, I think he is probably maybe the best pound fighter in the world. But, you know, Sam's proven that he's got such a great chin, such good boxing IQ, he's in with a chance. And at least he deserves the opportunity.
Goodman promoter George Rose outlines the financial stakes involved in Sam Goodman's potential fight with Inoue. Goodman is guaranteed to earn $3 million, but the broader implications could be worth up to $100 million if he secures a victory and attracts larger fights or rematches. A win would elevate Goodman to million-dollar man status, opening doors to significant opportunities and financial gains in the future.
Mate, we've seen he's guaranteed $3 million against Inoue, $1 million, $2 million. Can you confirm how many million he is risking?
Well, a lot, a bloody lot. In the big scheme of things, it's probably 100 million. Let's be honest. When he beats Inoue, he then becomes the $1 million man. He becomes the big fighter. He becomes the guy who attracts those big purses and can draw a crowd, not to mention a rematch against Inoue if it was to happen. There's more than just the $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. There could be a hell of a lot more at risk, and it's all going on the line in this fight.
Paul Butler reflects on the potential challenges Naoya Inoue might encounter in building his legacy as a legendary fighter. He points out that Inoue doesn't have many big-name rivals or high-profile opponents, which could limit his ability to cement his status in boxing history. While there has been some tension in recent bouts, Butler argues that without significant rivalries, Inoue's path to establishing himself as an all-time great may be hindered, as major rivalries often contribute to a fighter's enduring legacy.
Do you think he might struggle a little bit legacy-wise because he hasn't got those dance partners, those kind of big names that he can beat to further enhance his legend?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Possibly, yeah. He's got no real big rival out there, I think that was like a nice guy versus the bad guy today, wasn't it? And it wasn't really like touted as
Butler further analyzes Naoya Inoue's fight against Luis Neri, highlighting Inoue's more aggressive and determined demeanor compared to his usual composed self. Inoue started with intent, but was unexpectedly knocked down in the first round by an overhand left from Neri, marking the first knockdown of his career. Butler explains that it wasn't necessarily because Inoue was badly hurt, but rather because it was a shot he didn't see coming. It was a shot that when you watch it back, it's a shot he doesn't see, and they're the ones that do the damage. However, Inoue quickly recovered, taunting Neri toward the end of the round to show he wasn't shaken. By the second round, Inoue regained control, knocking Neri down with a powerful left hook, forcing Neri into a more cautious stance. Butler also points out Neri's footwork errors, which Inoue exploited with his speed and precision. Boxing analyst Tim Bradley reflects on Naoya Inoue's last bout, noting that Inoue initially struggled against TJ Dohany's defensive tactics. However, around the fourth or fifth round, Inoue adjusted by using a pendulum bounce to disrupt Dohany's timing. This allowed Inoue to dart in and out effectively with combinations, focusing on body shots that eventually wore down Dohany and led to a knockout victory.
Because there was a time where Inoue was marching forward, but he wasn't able to really land anything significant on him. You had Dohany that was actually feinting, moving to the side, jabbing here, finishing combinations. After Inoue would try to lunge in with a shot, he would try to finish and counter him. Just very savvy in there. And Inoue decided, like, okay, well, I'm gonna actually try to bring you towards me. So Inoue will pin himself in the corner at times and say, come on, to try to change his game up a bit, adjust during the fight. And then when it changed, I think it was around round 4, 5, it started to change. Inoue started to pendulum bounce. He started to bounce in and out, And that's what I think that right there is what got.
Moreover, Bradley comments on Naoya Inoue's performance, saying that Inoue methodically broke down Dohany's strategy, and at times, the fight seemed more like a sparring session. Bradley implies that Inoue deliberately took his time, studying Dohany and controlling the pace of the fight. Once Dohany started to slow down, Inoue seized the opportunity to finish him.
And there was times during the fight where I just felt like Inoue was taking his time, and it was almost like he was just like dissecting what this guy was doing. And it felt like a sparring session. It almost felt like he was carrying him, and once again, Dohany slowed down. It was all she wrote, man. But I thought it was a good performance.
Paulie Malignaggi considers whether Naoya Inoue can become a star in the U.S., similar to Manny Pacquiao. He notes that Pacquiao became famous by fighting regularly in the U.S., while Inoue has primarily built his career in Japan, selling out major arenas like the Tokyo Dome. Although Inoue already excites global audiences, with many Western fans tuning in to watch his fights live from Japan, Malignaggi questions whether he will reach the same level of stardom in the U.S. as Pacquiao did.
Could the monster Naoya Inoue be a star in the next few years he has left in his prime? What's your thought on it?
It's certainly a viable question. You think about, can a foreigner be a big star in America? Well, we had Manny Pacquiao, who was on the Asian market, and he became a major star here in the U.S. So it's definitely possible. But Pacquiao did it by getting eyes from the U.S. Scene. He was fighting in the U.S. consistently from rather early in his career. Inoue has had the monster promotion, no pun intended, is monster promotion over in Japan, filling out big arenas and even selling in the Tokyo Dome recently with Neri. So I mean, it's a possibility to become the big star in America.
Chris Algieri reflects on Naoya Inoue's recent fight with TJ Dohany. Algieri explains that Inoue's team used the fight to focus on refining specific techniques, especially after being knocked down in a previous bout. He mentions, as good as he is, he's still working on his craft. Inoue kept touching his cheekbone because he made a mistake in that fight with Neri. Algieri note that although Dohany was a dangerous opponent, at 37 years old, he was someone Inoue was expected to outclass. This made the fight a lower risk opportunity to polish his skills while still securing a solid victory. The anticipation for Naoya Inoue's clash with Sam Goodman is really heating up, and we can't wait to see what unfolds on December 24th. Who do you think will take home the victory? Will the monster continue his reign, or will Goodman pull off an upset for the ages? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're excited about this fight and want more updates. Also, hit that bell icon to stay notified.